Hey everyone, it's Minty and this is episode 3 of Drawing Your OCs. The first character that I'm going to be redrawing in my style is called Snowy, and as soon as I saw this one, I just had to draw it because of all the pinks and purples, and I also wanted to see how the funky hairstyle and glasses would look in my style. The person who sent me this one told me that she's kind of inspired by winter because she was born in Virginia on Christmas Day. Snowy is 19 years old, has one sister, and she's currently in college working towards becoming a lawyer. At first, my version reminded me of a librarian because of the way that the glasses rest on top of the nose, but once I coloured them in, it ended up looking fine. I actually had a lot of trouble with this sketch and I ripped out one of the pages on my first try because it just wasn't working out. I think I'm in like a mini art block right now since I've been drawing quite a lot recently. I did end up making a sketch that I liked though, and once I got through that rough spot, it was fine. I really liked the pose and the expression for some reason, even though it's so basic. I think that the way that I drew it looks kind of natural and relaxed. I took a risk and I went with pink and purple line art for the whole of this drawing. I even did purple eyelashes, which is something that I've never done before. It actually worked well though because it matched the whole colour scheme, and I liked it so much that I actually used the same technique for all of the drawings. Now that I've been using markers for a year or two, it's definitely so much easier for me to experiment with them more, like using the pink and purple line art, because I understand how they work and like how certain colours react when you layer and blend them, if that makes any sense. When I started, I would only use black and it took me ages to actually branch out. I would definitely recommend using different colours of line art though. And lately I've been colouring first and then lining after, but for this one I did the opposite and I did the line out of the hair first in pink so that when I went in with my markers to colour it, it picks up some of the pink and then it adds another shade to the hair. I also used my purple Copic marker for a lot of the shading on all of the drawings that I did, which I've also never done before. You can see that on the neck, under the chin, and also on the arms and legs. On the original drawing, the clothing colours were more leaning towards blue. It was more of like a violet colour than the purple that I used, but I didn't really have an in-between. I just had like dark blue and dark purple. So I went with the purple and then shaded with more of a navy colour. I definitely think that I should have shaded and layered a lot more though and added some blues into it just so I could get a better colour for it. I also think that I got the cut of the clothes wrong. On the original drawing, it was kind of like, I don't know, like bubbly. That doesn't really make sense, but maybe if you look at the original, you'll understand what I meant. You won't be able to notice, but I did buy a new Posca pen. It's exactly the same as my other white one, but that one ran out because I've been using Poscas so much on my drawings, not for like highlights and stuff, but for when I do the colouring in the background and then a white border. I do that on pretty much every drawing, so it ran out quite quick when I started that. Once I finished this drawing, I did a background. Whenever I do these Drawing Your OC videos, I tend to do circles around each character just to fill the space and like make sure the whole page is filled. I went with a light blue because that's her eye colour. That's something I would recommend doing, like making the background the colour of your character's eye colour. I think it just works pretty well because it's like an accent colour. It just brings out their eyes, you know, and I think eyes are really important on character drawings. And then here's me using my new white Posca to do the white border that I was talking about. Moving on to the next OC, which was sent to me by Venti's Vent, and her name is Mika. This one caught my eye originally because of how cute the art style was. I just love it so much, but I thought that I would want to draw it in my style because of the hair. The way that the original artist drew the hair was just so cute. I love the hairstyle that they chose and also the ears. I just wanted to see how I could do it and I knew it would be fun, and it was. This character is 15 years old with a really outgoing and optimistic personality, and she loves cutesy things. She was designed as a comfort character, so she doesn't have much of a story behind her. She just exists to be cute and fun to draw. The reference was digital, so I didn't have the exact same colour marker for the hair, so I resorted to loads and loads of layering to get that pastel coral pinkish colour. In real life, the hair colour looks so off, but luckily on camera, it actually looks pretty close to the right colour. And I just realised I was talking about the hair when I haven't even coloured it in yet, but you will see in a second when I do colour that. The hair definitely doesn't look as effortless in terms of the hairstyle because it's pretty clear like where the bangs end and where the pigtails start, whereas in the original it was kind of like all flowy and meshed into one, which I liked a lot better. For the base tone of the hair, I used a marker called Powder Pink. It's actually a skin tone. It's supposed to be used for blush, so it was very similar to the colour of her face, and it was kind of like a lighter version of what the proper hair colour is supposed to be on the original, but I had to shade it, so I did that with some different pinks, and I kept switching out between more pink colours and more orange colours. I also used a mixture of pink and brown line art, since purple line art didn't really work in this scenario, but I did use a purple Copic marker for the shading like I did on the other drawing, and that definitely added something. I didn't go with a full body for this one because the face was the part that I wanted to focus on most, and I also wanted to fit in some more drawings down below. I went with a green background because that's the colour of her eyes, and it's already time to move on to the next drawing, which is a character called Alexis. She's a cyborg, and one side of her head has wires instead of hair, so that if she plugs the wires into a device, she can transmit information directly from her brain, which is literally such a cool idea. Imagine if you had to type out homework for school and you just plug in your hair and it will write down everything you're thinking. It's so unique. Alexis lives in a futuristic society, and she's polite and follows orders, but throughout her story she needs to learn how to stand up for herself and realize that sometimes it's okay to break the rules. Hopefully the thumbnail of this video will make a lot more sense now, and you'll understand why I themed it with pink, because I chose all these characters that have pink hair and themes. I didn't plan on doing it this way, but after the first two characters I realized that they both have similar hair colors. Of course Mika's is a bit more corally, but when I looked through all the other OCs that I got sent, I realized that a lot more of them did have pink hair. Of course Alexis is only half pink, but it's pink, so we're gonna include it, and yeah, that's the theme. So sorry if your character didn't have pink hair, it's such a random thing for me to choose it off of, but it's just how it happened. I decided that the page would look a lot nicer if there was a theme to it, and it hopefully makes the video a little bit different to the others. Sorry about the voiceover sounding kind of rushed, probably because I am rushing it. Also, this has nothing to do with the video, but can we please take a second to talk about these new emojis? I just got the update and I didn't realize that I had them until I put that sad emoji on screen 2 seconds ago. And what is going on with these? When am I ever going to use this little dotted face? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And yes, I realize that I've moved on to drawing the next OC, but I still want to look at these new emojis because I'm just scrolling through and seeing all of them. And okay, I admit some of them are kind of interesting, like the non-face ones. Like this coral thing, I think that is so cute. And also the lily pad, is that new? I think it is. And it reminds me, maybe I should do like a 3 emoji challenge where you make a character using 3 emojis suggested by subscribers. So if you want me to do that, just let me know and I'll post a poll where you can pick the emojis or whatever. Okay, now back to the drawing. This one is called Pixie Fairy line, which really suits her character. She doesn't have fully pink hair like the other drawings, but she has a little bit of light pink in her bangs and her clothes are another shade of pink, so I thought it would work well with the rest of the drawings. She has powers, and within her story she has to hide from people who want to take her powers away. She likes traveling, gardening, flowers, pink summer, and she likes playing chess because she's very wise, but she does not like liars or rude people, which makes complete sense because who would like a rude person, you know? And she also isn't a fan of being alone. She's 16 years old and her zodiac is Leo. So we've got a lot of information about this one. Her pink strands of hair are way more neon than they were supposed to be. I don't really have many light pinks in my Ohuhu set that are not neon. Most of them are really, really bright pinks. So yeah, there's that, but I think it doesn't really matter too much. The main issue with this one was I chose the wrong color for the skin. I was supposed to use the same kind of skin tone as the rest of the characters had because they all had similar skin tones, but I wanted to change it up a little and I grabbed a different marker, but it turns out that it does not look good as a skin tone. It was way too desaturated, so I had to go on top of that with some more saturated colors, but then it made it a little bit darker than it should have been, which was okay I guess, but it was also too bright and the colors just did not mix well together, and I'm not a fan of how it looks. But when I finished it, it was okay. I kind of fixed that and distracted from the skin tone issue, but it's not too big of a deal, I guess. Since this one had a lot less pink than the other drawings, I made the background color pink, and then I also added more spots in the background near the other characters, which were pink as well, just to make it really obvious that that was supposed to tie everything together. It's not overwhelmingly pink, but yeah, also, by the way, the hand thingies that I'm doing here, I was overdoing it as a joke, but it just really doesn't work, so ignore that. Yeah, this is the shout outs and the shout out emoji. Thanks for watching. Sorry if I got sidetracked quite a bit in this video, but yeah, bye bye.